fire! It burns! It won't stop! Flames! Douse the flames! Please, help! The flames will burn me forever! Fire! It burns! It won't stop! You released me! Oh, long have I waited for this moment.
A dry, rattling laugh rises from the figure's ancient gullet.
This was a reward for doing my duty, for fulfilling the wishes of one Brachus Rex. Do you know that name?
The figure nods grimly.
He did terrible things while trying to master Source, bend it to his will. I had a part in this, I must admit. Perhaps I deserved the flames. No, I was a scholar, a librarian. Brachus sought the secrets of Source, but he had no patience for sifting through ancient scrolls and tablets. I unearthed knowledge of a great power within those texts, a great and terrible power, one that Brachus coveted above all.
The figure slowly shakes his head.
I will not say. I spoke of it once, and was damned to eternal hellfire for it. Were I to speak of it again, I could damn the whole world. Brackus must have failed. Had he not, the world as you know it would be gone. What I learned of could still be out there. I will not speak of it. I won't risk having another Brackus discovering it. How? Through violence? Oh, I've already suffered more than any would think possible. There is nothing more that you can do to me. My secret leaves this world with me. Good! Were I to say any more, I'd only put you in danger. Leave this awful place. Go live your life. Forget about all this. It is best left buried. And stranger, thank you for freeing me. I had doubted this moment would ever come.
Frozen ground, in the middle of a swamp. What's going on? A winter dragon. What on earth is it doing chained up here?
Unreadable glyphs mantle this ancient pillar. Braided through thick iron rings, source-infused chains bind the dragon tightly. The dragon rakes the earth with icy claws. Quakes from the impact knock you back. The freed dragon looks sick and pale. As you approach, he stretches his tattered wings weakly and fixes his intense gaze upon you. Frozen tears glint in his eyes.
My gratitude for your efforts, friend. Yet I am no more free now than I was in those chains. Please, help me find true liberty, or sing me to the endless slumber. But of course, that must be why you stand before me. Slain called to the Lord of Death, and here you are. A coincidence? My fate, it seems, is not my own to call. My soul is bound to joyless obedience. Purged of my source by the wickedest of witches, I stand enthralled to her every whim. She has only to command, and my traitorous body complies. The witch Rebecca! I was in love with her once. For the smallest slight, really a trifle, she wielded a purging wand against me, enslaving me to her will. Now only my voice remains my own. Allow? I did not choose this. As I am quite sure, you did not choose any number of indignities in your own life. Least of all your presence on this hellish isle. She trekked far underground beneath a nearby tower seeking ingredients for her vile potions. I can feel her dark heart beating within my own even from here. I await her return, yet I would prefer to welcome death in the sight of her face again.
The dragon sniffs and rakes at the ground with one razor-sharp talon.
A thought cannot mend a soul. A prayer cannot heal what has been ruined. You talk to soothe yourself, not me. That you would even ask such a question of a stranger already in your debt. There is much goodness within you, but this task would not be easy. Rebecca is a canny one. Cat to your mouse. She consumed all my source with her purging wand. So long as she holds it, she has absolute control over me. If you could retrieve it for me, I could be free again. You would have my gratitude, and whatever aid I can then offer to you.
strange. What's this? What's this? It looks strange. Strange. This place.
A tall woman stands amid a field of corpses, some fresh, some ancient. The sour smell of them stings your nostrils, your eyes. As you draw nearer, the stench blooms into a humid flavor you can almost taste. The woman turns to you, bitten lips parting into a grin. She tucks a small bunch of black-red roses into a leather strap across her left hip and, preparing to curtsy, offers you a hand.
What a bore.
She stands to her full height, her lips pursed in disappointment. She cocks her head and takes you in. The stench of death and sewage suddenly intensifies.
Now, that's enough of that. Ave de more de mergalach. Ha! Never mind. I mistook you for someone else. I am Radica, and you must be here for the same reason as I.
She pats the bouquet at her hip.
But you're too late. These roses belong to me. Looks like we'll have to find some other way to keep you busy. Oh, I do hope that little so-and-so hasn't been talking. Those chains were in a place for a reason. Ha! How earnest you are. I do love that in a man. As though you don't know. This is the one place in all of Reaper's Coast where blood roses actually thrive. I suppose you just stumbled in by mistake. Then I suppose you aren't leaving, darling.
You see a glimmer of hope flicker across Slane's eyes as he notices your approach. It's quickly doused with a practiced scowl of the oft disappointed.
Have you brought it? Or am I to remain a slave?
Slane rears back in eagerness, grasping the purging wand with razor-sharp claws. Before your eyes, the source from within the wand surges into his draconic form, filling him with a light so bright that you must shield your eyes from the glare. The blazing brightness dies down. Squinting, you now see no dragon before you, but the figure of a handsome lizard. A handsome lizard with the same eyes as Slane. His eyes still blaze, a piercing silver. A triumphant smile dominates his face as he bows extravagantly before you.
Slane, at your service. Neither. Both. I am a dragon knight, the last of my bloodline. Shifting between two shapes is our greatest gift. If everyone thought like you, this vile place will be little more than a sunny island. Perhaps before we're done, we can return it to such a state. Knowing such a steadfast and noble soul offers help to those in need gives me great comfort. I'd like to offer you the same. When you are truly at a loss, when you have no choice but to back down or perish, you will find safety in my shadow. This, I promise. This is an island of many mysteries, of many horrors. I'll learn what I can. Perhaps there is some possible reprieve for the souls who suffer here.
Slane smiles at you and turns to leave. He takes no more than a few steps before he shimmers out of lizard form, blurring in midair back into a majestic dragon that soars away.
It is you! The feeling is mutual. I can't tell you how grateful I am for your kindness. Now I'm just trying to get used to life as a pig. It's not so easy. I never did enjoy truffles. Well, I can trace it all back to Brachus Rex, of course. Many of us opposed his reign. Few dared to speak against him, though. A few of us wizards took the chance, though. We figured if we spread the word of his deeds, we might encourage enough people to come together, find a way to take him down. But we underestimated the cowardice of our comrades. All we succeeded in doing was being branded heretics and brought to Brachus Rex's court. The results were horrifying. A double curse, turned into pigs and set aflame for eternity. I like not being on fire, so I don't want to complain too much about the pig part. I'm not sure. I have prayed to Armadia, but she offers no answers. Really? There must be a shrine there. If anyone can restore me to my previous wizardly self, it's Armadia. I'm so grateful for this news. I'm going there now to seek Armadia's blessing. Thank you. Thank you.
The cub looks up at you with the saddest eyes you've ever seen. The cub stifles a sob.
I want my mum. I don't know. The men in red came with their big rolling box thing and she told me to hide. She hasn't come back. Have you seen my mum, mister? Maybe.
The cub looks like it's going to cry again.
Things, I suppose. I'm too young to know about things. If my mum was here, she'd be able to tell you. My mum knows about things. She's just being protective. It's her way. She's a good mum, she is. I want my mum.
The cub sadly watches you go. It sniffles, sobs, mewls, sighs, then whispers.
I want my mum.
What's up with you? You look terrified. What a chicken. Bok, bok, chicken. Here, chicken. You make me sick.
Who's there? I can hear you. Captain, is that you?
A young Magister tenderly fingers 2 fresh gashes across his eyes and face. His fingertips hesitate over his closed eyelids. He's been blinded. At your approach, he spins to face you and readies his shield.
Stop! Stop! Who goes there? Groat! I don't know any Groat. Tell me the truth. Who are you? I'm sorry, I can't see anything. I feel like a sheep in a wolf's den. So, how much did you hear back at the fort? I don't know how it all went so wrong so fast. We came to get the purging wands from Brachus's old armory. Loaded up the last of them without any trouble. The cart was good going. But we hit a snag. Those bloody skeletons had laid a trap for us. They turned the cart, pulled us out by our hair. We lost Faray. Landon and I beat the rest back. But not before one of them got me across the ice. Sure, yeah, go ahead. How bad is it?
He pauses for a moment, then gently takes your hand from his cheek, holds it a moment, and drops it.
I should see a healer. Maybe there's still time. You can watch the cart, right? We can't leave it here. It's very important.
He reaches out and feels for your shoulder. He shakes it twice, then reaches up and pats your cheek, probably a little harder than he means to.
Thank you. I can get myself back to the fort fine. After all these expeditions, I know the way well enough. Thank you. Who's there? I can hear you. Captain, is that you?
You are an abomination. A crucified figure blazing with sauce. You hear screams, and then the scent of charred flesh. The cub looks up at you with the saddest... The cubs.
I want my mum.
The bear cub blinks, sniffles.
Like me, I guess. Only bigger. You seen her, mister?
The cub brightens.
Ooh, thanks, mister. I'll go find her then. Mum! Mum, I'm coming!
The happy cub ambles away. The cub looks up at you with the saddest eyes you've ever seen.
Keep an eye out for their void-woken pets!
The Magisters scramble for their weapons, but pause as the smoke clears.
You got more flesh on your bones than our last visitors. Who are you?
Can't believe we lost so many men and still never got through the last day.
You picked a terrible place to get lost, friend.
This isn't exactly a scenic spot. Our brothers have a seeker cornered. We caught the rat scurrying about, trying to steal the weapons we'd uncovered here. Little did the fool know that we've already moved everything we could get our hands on. He'll die for less than nothing. On the way to the Lady Vengeance for further study. Dallas was right about what we uncovered here. It could turn the tide against the Voidwoken. Her information was flawless as ever. It's as if Lucian himself whispers in her ear.
Can't believe we lost so many men and still never got through the last game.
Once the Seeker's dead, we can follow the cart to the Lady Vengeance.
They have attacked. Hell's teeth. We can't sit here and do nothing. Our brothers can handle one Seeker without us.
Left over from the days of Brackus, I presume.
In the flickering torchlight, you see a Magister lying muttering on the ground. As you approach, he turns with a jerk.
No, stay back. Not another step closer if you want to live. Fight! I'm not afraid of you. You should be afraid of me.
The Magister nods towards his hand, and you see the skin is midnight black. It seems to undulate, as if worms were squirming through his flesh. He grimaces and tucks it underneath his arm, squeezing it tight. He nods towards the bodies of the dead Magisters, twisted in the thorned blood.
Same as those poor souls. We finished clearing out this blasted room and wanted to move on to the next. As soon as they touched that switch, they were screaming. Some void curse. Dallas warned us to take care, but we never thought, never knew we... Excavations. Digging out old weapons. More purging ones. Enough to turn the tide against Source. We thought it'd be simple, but Voidwoken, undead, Seekers, and now this. We were doomed from the start. Dallas must have known. She told us it was old, told us it was dangerous, told us it was important. More weapons to fight the sorcerers, she said. She needed the wands, but there was something more. We got greedy. I don't know. Something powerful. We thought it might help, but... whatever it is, the Void itself is fighting to protect it. Talos told us to be careful, but this is wrong. It's evil. Death.
He looks up at you, his eyes staring deep into yours.
I saw how they died. I heard them screaming. I don't want to go like that. I don't want to face that. Please, I can't lift my sword. I can't do it myself. There is no cure, there's only pain. Please, make it stop. I don't want to go like... Please.